good day to everyone. And we are now on the second Sunday of Lent, Year A. And our Gospel is coming from the Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 17, 1 to 9, or commonly called the Transfiguration of Jesus. To understand better this Gospel, we have to go to what the verse 1 said. It says, 6 days after that, Jesus went up the mountain bringing Peter, James, and John. That's the key to understanding this. What happened 6 days before? 6 days before, Jesus said something like this: I will be captured by the authorities and I will be handed over to them and they will kill me. In short, Jesus for the first time shared to them a bad news. And possibly for the past 6 days, Jesus was observing them and they were so discouraged. And so instead of bringing all the apostles up in Mount Tabor, he brought with him these three leaders among the 12, Peter, James, and John. We always hear this trio of names always mentioned, and possibly because they have a strong influence among the 12. So he brought them there in the mountain because maybe to influence them after what he will be revealing to them. And indeed, as the Gospel said, Jesus was transfigured in front of them. What do we mean by that? Jesus simply revealed to them that he is no ordinary guy, that after his death, that's it. That's the end of the story. But rather, he introduced to them and reminded them that he is God. That is why, in so much happiness, Peter said, let's put up tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. That's the result of ginising ni Jesus yung kanilang damdamin. And that is why Jesus was telling them, please do not tell others about this only after my death or my resurrection. My dear friends, all of us have been receiving bad news every now and then. Bad news such as natanggal sa trabaho, bumagsak sa grades, hindi nakapasa sa board exams, iniwan ng jowa, no? Or kaya na-scam ng big amount, and eventually, which is the most painful, is death of a beloved family member. So bad news. In front of bad news, what shall we do? 3 things that the Gospel is teaching us. Number 1, have moments of silence. Tulad ni Jesus, dinala niya ang mga apostles sa mountain, a very quiet and a place of solemnity, a place of serenity. So dinala niya. Why? For them to think it over. So pag meron tayong bad news, it's also important to pray, to keep silence, and to gather our thoughts. Secondly, bad news usually makes our spirit drooping, no? Our spirits down, and therefore it's nice to encourage someone who has received a bad news. So that is why the best thing here is to visit that person concerned. And lastly, which is I think the most important central teaching of the Gospel, is always remember your God experience. Every person has a God moment, a God experience, a ha-ha experience, wherein we are always reminded that although I receive a bad news now, at one point in my life, I know I have experienced God. And experiencing God, even for once, is an experience of eternity. And that is why it's nice to be reminded that God is still in control. God bless you, and God loves you. Thank you.